what starts as a heartbreaking discovery quickly spirals into a nightmare of lies, secrets, and danger. When I found out my wife was cheating, I thought that was the worst part, but soon I uncovered a hidden world of betrayal, criminal secrets, and threats that changed everything. This is my story of love, deception, and survival. If you've ever faced a shocking betrayal or been caught in a web of lies, this one's for you. Subscribe for more true stories that keep you on the edge of your seat. Hey Reddit, I never thought I'd be the guy posting here about this kind of stuff, but here I am. This whole thing happened over the past few months, and honestly, it's been a nightmare I couldn't have imagined. I'm still trying to piece everything together and figure out what to do next, so I'm hoping you guys can help me make sense of it. I've been married to my wife, Lisa, for about 6 years now. We met in college, and for the longest time, I thought we were solid. Sure, we had our usual ups and downs like any couple, but nothing that screamed red flags. We even bought a house last year, started talking about kids, basically, the whole settling down deal. The thing is, Lisa started acting a bit weird maybe 6 months ago. Nothing crazy at first, just small stuff. She'd get really defensive if I asked simple questions about her day, started guarding her phone like it was a state secret, and I noticed she was suddenly working late a lot more. I brushed it off, thinking maybe work was stressful or something. But then one night, everything hit me like a brick wall. I came home early from work because I was feeling under the weather and just wanted to crash on the couch. The house was dark, which was weird because Lisa usually leaves a light on. I called her, no answer. Then, I noticed her car wasn't in the driveway. I thought maybe she went out for a walk or something, but then I saw a text pop up on my phone, from her. It wasn't for me. It was from some guy named Mark. In the message, it said, "Can't wait to see you tonight. Miss you." My heart dropped. I stared at the screen like I was going to see a miracle, but no, it was real. My wife was texting some other guy, and from the tone of it, they were definitely more than just friends. I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to think maybe it was some kind of misunderstanding. So I waited. I kept my cool, as best as I could, and decided to snoop a little because, well, I needed answers. That night, when Lisa finally came home, I confronted her. I asked straight up, "Who's Mark?" She froze. Then, with this fake smile, she said, "Oh, just a coworker. You know how it is." But her eyes? They told a different story. That fake smile didn't fool me. Over the next few days, I kept digging. I checked her messages, her social media, even followed her once when she said she was going to meet friends. She wasn't meeting friends, she was meeting Mark. And the more I found out, the worse it got. But here's the thing, it wasn't just cheating. There was something else going on. Something way darker. One evening, I found a box hidden in the back of our closet. Inside were photos of Lisa with Mark, but not just casual selfies. Some of the pictures were weird. Like staged, almost like they were planning something. And that's when I realized this wasn't just an affair. Lisa was involved in something serious. I don't know what yet, but it scared the hell out of me. I wanted to tell someone but was too embarrassed and confused. So here I am, Reddit, hoping you can help me figure this out. Has anyone else gone through something like this? What should I do next? After I found that box with the weird photos, I couldn't sleep for days. My mind was racing, what the hell was Lisa involved in? I kept replaying every moment, every weird text, every late night. I was desperate to find something concrete, but at the same time, I felt like I was walking blindfolded through a minefield. I decided to confront her again, but this time, I didn't want to be subtle. I sat her down one evening and said, "Lisa, I know you're hiding something. Please just tell me what's going on." She looked at me like I was crazy. Then, with this smirk that still makes my blood boil, she said, "You're so paranoid. Maybe you're the one hiding things." That hit me like a slap. I wanted to scream, but I held it together. I asked her point blank if she was cheating. She didn't answer for a long moment. Then she said, I'm not the person you think I am. You have no idea. That's when the weirdest thing happened. She started turning the tables, accusing me of being controlling and paranoid, like I was the bad guy. It was like she rehearsed this speech. But I wasn't going to back down. I kept pushing, and finally, she snapped. She told me that she'd been unhappy for a long time, that I didn't pay attention to her, and yes, she had been seeing Mark. I felt like my world collapsed. But then came the part that blew my mind even more. She said Mark wasn't just some random guy. He was involved with a group, something secretive and dangerous. Lisa claimed she got involved because she felt trapped in her marriage and wanted out. I asked her what group, what kind of dangerous stuff. She refused to say more. That night, I stayed up Googling everything I could about Mark. Turns out, he's linked to some shady businesses, nothing that's public, but enough to raise red flags. People talk in forums about him being involved in scams, maybe even something criminal. I didn't know what to believe anymore. Was Lisa a victim? Was she involved willingly? Or was I just a fool? Then, the next day, I received an anonymous message on my phone. It said, "If you want to know the truth, meet me at the old pier tonight. Come alone." I debated ignoring it. Part of me thought it was a prank. But the other part, the desperate, scared part, said I had to go. I went. At the pier, a figure stepped out of the shadows. It was a woman, mid-30s, nervous but determined. She said, "I'm someone who knows Lisa. There's more going on than you realize. You're in danger just by being involved." I asked her who she was. She refused to say, but handed me a USB drive and whispered, "This has everything. Be careful." Before I could ask more, she disappeared into the dark. When I got home, I plugged in the USB. What I saw made my blood run cold. Files, messages, photos, everything showing Lisa's secret life. Not just cheating, but illegal deals, money transfers, and a whole network I never imagined. I'm scared, Reddit. What do I do now? Should I go to the police? Should I confront Lisa again? Or do I just run away? After I plugged in that USB drive and saw what was on it, I couldn't sleep for days. I kept staring at the screen, scrolling through files with transactions, chats, and photos. It wasn't just cheating anymore. Lisa was tangled in something serious, and I was right in the middle of it without even knowing. I felt sick thinking about what this meant for us, for my safety, and for my future. I tried calling Lisa to confront her again, but she started ignoring my calls. When she finally answered, she sounded cold, like a stranger. "I don't know what you're talking about," she said. "Stop digging. This isn't your fight." That's when I realized she was protecting something, or someone. But who? And why? I felt betrayed, scared, and confused. My own wife was lying through her teeth, and I was left picking up the pieces. I decided I couldn't just sit and wait. I made copies of everything on the USB and sent them anonymously to a trusted friend who works in law enforcement. I asked for advice but told him to keep it quiet. Meanwhile, I tried to figure out what Lisa's plan was. Then I found out from a neighbor that Lisa and Mark were spotted meeting at a hotel not far from our house. That's when it hit me, maybe they were planning to disappear, to leave me behind with nothing. I confronted Lisa one last time at home. "You're running away, aren't you?" I asked. She laughed, this bitter, cruel laugh that broke something inside me. "You don't get it, do you? You never did. Mark and I are done with this life. You're just a chapter I'm closing." I wanted to scream, cry, beg, but I was numb. Then, she dropped a bombshell. "You want the truth? Mark isn't just some guy. He's part of an underground group that's been watching you too. They don't want you involved. You're in danger." I froze. The next few days were a blur of paranoia. Strange calls, unmarked cars near our house, messages threatening me to stop digging. I didn't know who to trust anymore. And then, just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Lisa vanished. No note. No message. Just gone. The police said there wasn't much they could do unless she turned up or there was clear evidence of a crime. I was left alone in our house, with nothing but questions and fear. Reddit, what do I do now? How do I move on when the person you trusted most disappears into the dark, leaving you with nothing but lies and threats? After Lisa disappeared, my life felt like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. Every creak in the house made me jump. Every unknown number on my phone sent chills down my spine. I wasn't just heartbroken, I was terrified. I spent days going through everything Lisa left behind, emails, texts, bank statements, hoping to find some clue about where she went or why she vanished so suddenly. Then, I found it. A message hidden deep in her email drafts. It was addressed to Mark, but it never got sent. It said, "The plan is on. Tonight. No mistakes. We have to disappear before he finds out." My heart sank. The plan. What plan? I kept digging and discovered that Lisa wasn't just cheating, she was part of a larger scheme, something dangerous that involved disappearing, faking identities, and a lot of money. I also found a contact number linked to a burner phone. I debated calling it for days before finally doing it. A man answered, cold, clipped voice. He said, "You shouldn't be digging. Walk away before it gets ugly." I told him I just wanted to understand. He laughed. "Understanding won't save you. Stay out of it." That was the last time I heard from him. I knew I couldn't back down now. I had to find Lisa, to find answers, but more than that, I had to protect myself. I started hiring a private investigator, someone who could help me navigate this mess without putting me directly in danger. The PI dug up more about Mark and the group. They're involved in money laundering, identity fraud, and worse. Lisa was tangled up in it deeper than I thought. One day, the PI called me with news. They found Lisa. I felt a mix of relief and dread. She was hiding in a small town 3 hours away, living under a fake name. But she wasn't alone. The PI said Mark was with her, and they were planning their next move. I had to decide, do I confront her? Do I go to the police? Or do I try to just move on and leave all this behind? But part of me wants the truth, no matter how ugly. I couldn't ignore the news. Lisa was out there, alive, but running with Mark like nothing happened. I felt angry, heartbroken, and completely lost. I decided to drive out to that town myself. I needed to see her, to get answers face to face. When I arrived, I found a small, run-down motel where Lisa was supposedly staying. I waited outside for hours, watching the door. Finally, she stepped out. She looked different, more guarded, colder. When she saw me, her face didn't show surprise. Just irritation. "Why are you here?" she asked, voice sharp. "I needed to know the truth," I said. She sighed, like she was tired of carrying all the lies. "Fine. You want the truth? Here it is. I hated our life. I hated feeling trapped. Mark offered me a way out, money, freedom, a new life. I took it." My chest tightened. "But there's more," she continued. "They're not just criminals. They're like a family. I was never alone with them. I belonged." I asked her if she ever loved me. She looked away. "I loved who I thought you were. But you changed. Or maybe I did." Suddenly, I felt numb. The woman I married was a stranger. Before I could say more, Mark appeared behind her, tall, confident, with that smirk I hated so much. He said, "Glad you two are catching up." I looked at Lisa again, and all I saw was the distance between us. I realized then that this wasn't just about betrayal. It was about losing someone I never really knew. After that confrontation, everything felt surreal. Lisa and Mark left town the next day, vanishing like ghosts. I was left standing there, feeling hollow and broken. The betrayal wasn't just about cheating, it was about the life I thought I had being a lie. For weeks, I tried to pick up the pieces. I focused on work, my friends, anything to distract myself. But the emptiness followed me everywhere. Then, one night, I got a message from an unknown number. You're stronger than you think. Don't let them win. No signature. No clue who sent it. It felt like a sign, maybe someone watching out for me, or maybe just my own mind trying to give me hope. I'm sharing this because I don't have all the answers yet. I'm still trying to figure out who Lisa really was, what happened to us, and how I can move forward. If you've been through something like this, losing someone to lies and secrets, I'd love to hear how you survived.